Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's week 21 over on the Mission Inspiration Facebook group, and the prompt for this week is dreaming. So embrace the realm of possibility where imagination soars. Like stars in the night sky, let dreams illuminate your path. Navigate with hope, for in the landscape of dreams, discover inspiration and purpose. Cherish your visions, as each dream holds the seeds of your future reality and potential. Excellent one. Love it. So I've already stuck the prompt obviously onto the back of the sheet where I'm going to be creating my art journal page for this week. So I'm going to be using a mixture of stuff today. So I have my new paper pad, my new mixed media art papers, which are the Chic Fleur. I've already started ripping pages out already, as you can see. But I'll quickly just flick through. So if you haven't seen my little YouTube video where I did a quick flick through these papers, I'll just do it now so you can have a quick look. So they're all very vintagey, mute kind of vintage palette, beautiful floral pages. I tried to do them so that the compositions were, you know, either framed on the side or in the corners, as you can see, composition wise. And you've got that book text kind of invoicey kind of ledger paper in the background, so almost done for you. Now somebody's commented with these about how easy it would be just to take the staples out, cut them down and turn them into a signature, a ready-made signature for a journal. You're right, it would. Very, very easy, because they are only just stapled in the middle, and it's just a real easy staple just to take out as well. So, and again, the weight of the paper is 170 GSM, which is 115 pound in the imperial weights. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. I have my favorites. I certainly do. I have my favorites. And of course, you do get those on the inside front and back covers. You do get those ATC sized slivers as well. So perfect backdrops for little ATCs. So that is the new Chic Fleur art paper set, which is available now on the website. So without further ado, I've got some more products to show you, which are, okay, so we've got some of the new Carte Noire shapes. So these are the Gothic windows. So as you can see, you get two smaller ones and one of the large Gothic windows. So yes, these are ATC sized. I know we're back on ATCs again, so will fit on the new ATC shadow box frame as well. If you haven't seen the shadow box frame, that's one made up. So yeah, they do fit. They're the right size for the shadow box frames as well. So let's pop that to one side there. So I'm going to be using the larger window on my project today, but also, not only, but also, there's also the notebook borders as well. Let me just move that out of the way so you can see these. So these are kind of like if you've got one of those spiral notepads and you just tear the paper off. So they've got the small circles, larger circles, we've got the squares, and you've got the mushrooms. So those are also the new one of the new Carte Noire art shape sets. So I'm going to be using the small circle one today. So I'll just put the others to one side. I'm using the large Gothic window. Right, so paper-wise, this is the book, like I said, I've already started tearing into. So I want, I would like, je voudrais, I want one that's got a little bit of the paper on the left-hand side. Actually, that might be the one. That's the reason why it's already torn out of my pad. Right. I actually need to write on the front of that, so I'll make sure that I don't sell it to anybody with pages missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just position this on the page, but a little bit further in, I think. Yeah, I think, right, so Decollage paper tearers, and we'll have the, should we have the medium size, or the medium side, so we'll take it about there, I think. Yeah, let's do that side. So we'll start it about there. Because I want a bit of a rough border. Okay, so we'll just remove that. And then we'll take a little bit. Let's just see where we're going to end up. Let's just take a little bit off the bottom, because we're going to end up relatively with the right size. These papers they're just slightly larger than AB8. What we'll do, I think. So if we do the same thing at that side, just take a little bit off. I'll do, don't need a lot. I'm using the tearers because if I tried to do this freehand without a guide, it'd end up all over the place. And certainly not in a straight line, which is the beauty of having the Decollage reelers. Alrighty. And then we can take that probably about there. And keep that piece for another day. Lovely. All right, so let's get that stuck down. Did have glue stick, there we go. Just a bit of a collage collection today, but we'll be adding a little bit of paint. Make sure I've got the right side, and then we can just position that kind of where we need. Lovely. And then the Gothic window, just needs to be about there. And then for this, I'm going to cut it between there. So that's going to be like so, but I don't want the black. So I could either turn it over and use the white side, but either way, black or white is a bit stark for me. So I want to create the kind of effect of stone. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of black gesso and a little bit of white. So we're going to mix together and create a little bit of a grey paint. Just trying to find a paintbrush that's big enough. There we go. Lovely. So take a little bit of black, grab a spatula, and just a little dab of white. Alright, so just mix until we get that kind of nice grey stone colour. And then you can either daub it on with a sponge, which I'm going to do. So I've got a bit of a sponge here, and it doesn't make any difference which, like I said, which side you do it. It will cover, regardless of whether it's the white side or the black side. And I'm just going to dab it on. We need a little bit more white paint. Just a tad. There we go. It just kind of creates, if you use the sponge, it just kind of creates that stone effect if you stipple. And then I'm going to take just a little bit, a tiny little bit of white, and then just pick that up. A bit more, and I can always just build it up until I'm happy with the effect, the stone effect. Like it. A bit more white, just want a few more highlights. Just makes it look a little bit more like stone when you stipple. Love it, love it, love it. Perfect for Halloween, these. Right, so let me just quickly put the lids back on those paint pots, and then I'll have a quick clean up, and I'll be right back. All right, next up, I'm going to paint this notebook border, but I'm going to have it that way around. I'm just going to add just a little bit of yellow ochre, because I want to give this a kind of vintagey paper feel. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the black. I'm going to take some white and mix it with the yellow ochre, just to kind of give us that off-white kind of cream colour. I'm going to put it on with a brush this time, and I'm going to go all uneven. So it doesn't matter if you have some darker spots. Just to kind of give it a bit of depth, a bit of dimension, a bit of visual interest, rather than just a flat single colour. So we'll just stipple, create some white areas, yellowy areas, and that kind of blends in then with the colour of the page. So again, now we've got that, and I've just dropped it in that ochre paint now, look. Hee hee. Oh dear, this is why I tidy up all the time. Right, as I was just about to say, leave that to dry and I'll have a quick clean of that, and then I'll be right back. While that's drying, I'm going to be preparing my paper doll figure for my focal point for the art journal page. Now this is shiny, look. I don't like shine, mostly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it a coating of matte medium. So I've got some matte medium from Indigo Blue here. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my craft mat, just clear the nozzle. That'll do. That will do. I've got another sponge. So instead of painting the matte medium on, you run the risk of getting brush strokes in the matte medium. So instead, I'm going to go over with a sponge. I'm going to stipple it all over with a sponge. Somebody at the door. Ian's in, so he can get it. There we go. All right, so we'll now just move that to one side. Have a quick wipe just to get rid of any excess. And then I'll just give it a gentle dry with my heat gun, and that should eliminate any shine. There we go. So you don't lose any of the detail, you just lose a bit of the shine. Now you can see just by tilting it if there's any areas that you've missed. So I've missed some just on the corner of his sleeve there, and there's just a slight little bit in the middle there, but apart from that it's mostly matte. So I've still got some on my sponge, so I can just quickly kind of go over and just fill that in. And now shine's all gone. Excellent, what we like. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so now we've got most of the bits that we need. Let's just bring that in. Is that dry now? Yep, okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on that. So again, I'm going to be using my new stamp set. This is Journaling Textures, which is going to be released next week. I'm going to add stamping block. Actually, let's do it by hand. Let's do it by hand. Right, so Versafine, Claire, that'll do. So we'll just add a little bit on that. In fact, why don't we actually use the lid? Why not? So I'm just going to go really gentle, just take off quite a bit. Just give it a little bit more texture. That'll do. I'll just clean that off. There we go. I often use the lids of my ink pads. Often, because usually they're the right shape, and you can never find your stamping blocks when you need them. All right, so I think we're ready to assemble. So fairly easy kind of composition today. Not complicated, really. There it is. So I'd left my inky doodle thing over there on my desk. Right, so now then, glue wise, again I've left it over there. Rubbish today with remembering stuff. So first things first, let's just run a little bit of glue. Not going to need a huge amount because it's not too heavy. That'll do. And then position the window about so. And it will dry clear as well, so I wouldn't worry too much. And then we'll add some glue to the back of our notebook border. And I'm going to stick that about so. Hello, chicken. Little Mr. Nip's come to see me. Hello, darling. What doing? Eh? And then we have. I know. What's the matter? I don't want to play. We're back in a moment. There we go. Mr. Nippy's all sorted now. So, right, what was I doing? I was going to stick my little character onto this. Now, I'm not really sure where I'm going to need the glue, so I'm going to put it about here. And that should sit him up there. Like so. And then just to finish off, I went looking through all of my chipboards. I'm trying to use up as much of my Tim Holtzy stuff again as I can, because it's just been hanging around for too long. Got far too much of it. And it's taking up space. It's taking up office real estate. So I'm going up over the top quite a bit, just to kind of bring that vintage kind of colour palette back in. And then just needs a little bit of weight putting down on him. Then we can stick our little quote. Put it just on there we go. So all we need now is just to have a little bit of weight put on him, just so that it stays stuck down. So I'll be right back in a momento. Okay, so everything's had a few minutes being pressed and flattened. So what I want to do now is just add a little bit more kind of like depth and dimension to the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just using a Stabilo All Pencil Brown, and I'm just going to mix that with a little bit of water, and I'm going to just start adding in a little bit of contrasting, well, a little bit of shadow really, I suppose. Just with that watercolour. Because the paper in that paper pad is uncoated, you can do this sort of thing. There's no shine, no silk, no matte. It's just matte, a flat matte. So it's perfect for adding colour to. I know on one of Ian's paper pads, his Men of Science, one of the ladies that purchased recently has coloured in one of the men. It looks great. It looks really, really good. Like I said, this is the same kind of cardstock. All I'm doing is just going in Just adding a little kind of bit of shadow, just to add a bit of depth. I also should have got my pencil sharpener out, I think. Just a little squirt of water. Now I could draw directly on, but I don't want it that strong. So all I'm doing is just adding a real subtle kind of shadow effect, just to make it look even deeper than it actually is. And the beauty with these Stabilo oil pencils are that you can add just a little bit more water to it and it just diffuses it slightly. So if I just get some water. Now that's a bit too strong. Just clear water on its own. And we can just diffuse. Even add a little bit just underneath there. Love it. Okay, well, a quick tidy up, quick clean up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so everything's now dried, and I'm looking at it thinking, does it need anything else? Does it need any splatters or any more stamping in these areas? Yeah, and I'm thinking, no, it doesn't. I think it's going to be one of those cases where you just know when enough is enough. So just when to step away. Allow the emptiness to kind of be what it is, and allow the focal points to be exactly what they are, the focal points. So give your eyes a little bit of a resting space around there and just say, you know, enough is enough. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art journal page for week 21's prompt of dreaming. I've forgotten what the prompt was then. So if you have enjoyed it, please remember to give the video a thumbs up because it really does help me and the channel. Don't forget you can share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's the URL of our Mission Inspiration Facebook group on the screen now, so don't forget, if you want to pop across and join us for more weekly art challenges, then you can do that. There's also a clickable link below the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.